So I was rolling out this morning. Well, most of you are rolling over. And I was strolling through my channels that I sub to on YouTube, and I came across a new video from Michael Matt at Remnant TV. Now, this will be a first for my channel, people. Michael Matt from Remnant TV's YouTube channel, in his most recent video, came out against the naysayers, the Chicken Littles, and the doctors of doom and gloom. Now, I have the utmost respect for him, and have used much of his research many times, mentioned him before in my videos, and only fault him for being a confused Catholic. How anyone can be a Catholic, or for that matter, a Protestant, a Protestant of the Holy Roman Church and Catholicism, or a member of any 501c3 state church of any denomination. Absolutely amazes the shit out of me, people. People in state churches are purposely being misled and are missing seriously major pieces of the big picture. By design. By Team Evil's successes over the centuries of infiltrating and exercising total control of these churches. But you know what? They are, after all, the state's churches. No surprise they preached watered-down bullshit. Not even high-grade bullshit. Watered-down bullshit. Go figure. I have been called Dr. Doom to my face a number of times. The prophet of abandoned hope. All is lost. Nothing we can do. We are effed. So, am I Dr. Doom and Gloom? Or am I a humble, flexible, most fluid messenger on the wall? Stay with me till the end of this audio, people. The king in waiting. Oh yeah, Prince Charles has a message for all of us. And stay with me now, because I'm just getting started. On Saturday, the 6th of November, 2021, and I double-checked that date. It is definitely the 6th of November. Okay, some house cleaning matters before I weather the attack, the charge of being Dr. Doom. Where's part 4 of the alien agenda and disclosure, huh? And when are you going to tell us why we need to purchase Remington 12-gauge solid copper sabots? Well, people, my short answer, soon. Hopefully very soon. Now, it's just my opinion. Do not take this to the bank. But something huge is coming to a boil. And it has much to do with the UN's, hey, the Blue Helmet people, COP26 Climate Change Conference. And what Prince Charles stated at the COP26 conference. I'll cover that at the end of this audio. In other words, patience, people. I'm waiting on part 4 for new info that will tie everything together, giving you a completed puzzle picture that will be extremely difficult for any to deny. Sure, you can run. Yep, you can hide. But you'll only accomplish wearing yourselves out. And have you tried to buy tires lately? How about oil filters? One of the toxic twins that I just call BF has been waiting for a few months for a joystick controller for his John Deere farm equipment. Obsolete farm equipment. Another guy has waited over a year for his new, now getting old pickup. Thinking about canceling the order altogether. Supply chain. Is it getting better, people? Well, why don't you tell me? So, on to Dr. Doom's expose. And if the shoe fits, do I have to wear it? And I'm certain Mike Matt does not know me, even though he operates out of Murderapolis with his Remnant TV videos, publishing, and related businesses. He starts his video by pointing out a number. I'm just going to try to bring it up here. This won't be long. This won't be painful. He starts out his video by pointing out a number of admittedly small victories by the White Hats and the Americans at large. The brutal dictator, Governor Walz, governor of Minnesota, is having a change of heart. But, according to Mike, he stands election in 2022, and Minnesota voters are sick of his edicts and mandates. That son of a bitch shut down the whole state, 15 months ago. He points the defund the Minneapolis police movement was voted down in a big way. He points to the Virginia governor's race, where the favored to win Democratic candidate, Terry, good friend of Bill Clinton's, by the way, took a beating by a little-known Republican. So let's join Mike now as he continues the good news. Here we go.
You got Tony Fauci, the tormentor of beagles, who's in danger of falling from grace in this country. Finally, We'll put the link below from the Newsweek article. Two medical doctors, one from Stanford and one from UCLA, I'm not sure, blasting Tony Fauci and how he lied and deceived the nation about everything with respect to COVID. And this is in Newsweek, and why it's newsworthy is because it's in Newsweek. We'll put the link below. Fauci's stars waned. This is good news.
Okay, I'm not quite done with him. Newsweek, people, that once famous magazine that sat next to Time magazine on the newsstands has been reduced to an e-magazine only, online. It has been broken like a bad habit. It dropped from grace like a dirty pair of underwear. I doubt Newsweek even has its last leg to stand on. And Mike, where have you been? 2 doctors? Thousands of doctors have been exposing that piece of shit, the good Dr. Fauci. Not just 2. And where is the good Dr. Fauci? He's where he's always been, people. Blowing smoke up people's asses. Yep, the viewers of CNN, MSLSD, and fake Fox News. If Fauci falls, his replacement is already groomed and standing by. It's a good cop, bad cop trick, people. Remember that one? Okay, I'll tell you, it's very simple. 2 investigators come to your door. One's a total asshole. One's a good guy trying to help you out. Be kind and keep the asshole and checking him off your back. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, it's a plan, it's a plot, it's a ploy, it's a technique and tactic. Alright, let's resume with Mr. Michael Matt.
People are tired of this. And why is all of this happening? It's because, again, Davos, the Great Reset, climate change hysteria, these aren't real. These are not things that real people living in the real world, quite frankly, give a rat's lower spinal extremity about.
Just breaking in here, people, for the room 10 plus 7 IQers. He's talking about they don't give a rat's ass.
And this election now, November 2021, made it really clear. And so it's a wake-up call for us. Don't just sit around day after day demoralizing the troops. There's nothing can be done. These guys are too powerful. We're never going to win. Oh my gosh, we're all going to die. And this conspiracy theory, that conspiracy theory. You know what? That doesn't do any good. If this was an actual shooting war, if we were in battle together as part of a military operation as soldiers, and you were destroying morale to that extent, oh man, we're never going to win. This is awful. You'd be court-martialed, if not shot. We're in war. We have to resist the temptation to just give in to, oh my gosh, they're too strong, they're too big, they're too powerful. No, friends, don't do this. Never do this. Never engage in this.
Okay, people. So, never engage in defeatism, huh? Well, I totally agree with that. But Mr. Matt's analogy to soldiers in a shooting war, in a battle, is somewhat lacking and seriously misleading. So what are the weapons deployed in Mr. Matt's analogy? The vote? Affecting low-level state governors? Replacing a Democrat with a Republican? 2 wings of the same Mason Murray bird? That's a weapon? I know how much many of you love history, so here's an easy question. Can you name me one time in history when the slaves ever voted themselves off the plantation or voted to have themselves released from captivity? Ever. One time. Go back as far as you want, people. I say you ain't going to give me an example because there isn't one. Voting tells our masters one major piece of information. Do our masters need more con men or do they need better con men? Now we are up against Team Evil's massive, huge, mammoth attack. And Mike Matt's army is a group of voters and peaceful protesters? You gotta be shitting me. You bet, Mike, I would never be in that hopeless position you laid out in your combat shooting war example. But if I were, you bet I'd be shouting, we don't stand a chance. We are doomed if this is our approach to combat. As a Catholic, Mr. Matt ignores the Apostle Paul's advice in Ephesians 6 about what we are dealing with and what tools we need to fight. Yes, fight. Not just moan and groan and piss and groan and moan. Now, fight, Team Evil. I'll give you a clue. Voting and peaceful protesting are not mentioned as viable weapons by Paul, people. Just saying. So, running long. Let's end this audio. And I'm going to bring it up here real quick. With the king in waiting. Yep, Prince Charles. Looked like he's all adrenochromed up. Cryptic speech at the COP26 UN, the Blue Helmet People's Climate Change Conference. I'll read only a paragraph. Stay with me here. Quote, we also know that countries, many of whom are burdened by growing levels of debt, simply cannot afford to go green. Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marsh the strength of the global private sector, with trillions at his disposal, far beyond global GDP, and with the greatest respect beyond even the governments of the world's leaders. So here's the question. Who's the good prince, king in waiting, Charlie boy? Who's the his disposal? Who's the guy? Who's the entity? Who's at trillions? Yeah, I told you the other day, 130 trillion in their war chest so far. So who's the him? Who's the his? Who's the that? Who's the entity? And I think he gives you another further cryptic clue, because he says, with the greatest respect, that's to the world's leaders, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders. The world's leaders are not in position to make this happen. But the it, the him, the his, the what is it, you tell me, who's got the trillions at his disposal, not Prince Charles. He's going to pull it off. So, pretty cryptic shit. I'm telling you, people, this is big, this is serious, this is mammoth, this is huge beyond huge. And you're going to have to deal with that. And fight, absolutely. Paul tells you how to do it. He tells you what you're up against. I didn't say don't fight. I didn't say all is lost. I just said, hey, peaceful protesters and voters ain't making it. No, people, I'm not Dr. Doom. I'm just a humble, flexible, incredibly fluid messenger watchman on the wall. And you're going to find this painfully hard to believe. I got stuff to do.